Good morning, everybody. I hope you are all having a fabulous Wednesday. My name is Nalini, and we are going to be moving through a 1-hour yoga stretch class. So I have by me a block and a strap, not necessary and really easy to modify with household equipment or anything you might find around your house. So if you want to grab something that you can use to give your hands a little bit of height, it might be as big as a low chair or just some sort of box or something that you can just raise the hand, raise the floor with. You might not need it. I've also got a strap, so you could use a belt or the strap that carries your yoga mat, or even just a t-shirt. Make sure it's not your favorite t-shirt, because it might get a bit stretched. Make sure it's not a super stretchy material to give you a bit of stability. Again, all the uses of both props will be totally optional, so if you don't have anything around you that will work today, don't worry, we can do without. So I am sitting up on my shins to start. If this sort of flexion on the knees doesn't work for you or the ankles isn't comfortable, you might want to separate the feet and rise the hips up on a block or a big cushion. Alternatively, if you do have that low chair near you and this isn't feeling great, pop yourself up on a chair to start. We want the legs to be symmetrical and the hips to be even. So sitting up on a chair, nice and tall, not leaning back onto the back, with the legs together and hands to thighs is a beautiful option here. So let's draw the palms to face up. Ground the sit bones down into whatever they are sitting on. It might be your heels, a block, or a chair. Lengthen the crown of the head up toward the ceiling. Relax the shoulders back and down, and when you're comfortable, close your eyes. And start to take some long, slow breaths in and out through the nose. Consciously drawing the breath deeper and deeper into the torso. Until you get a sense of filling up completely with each inhale. And letting go completely with each exhale. Our movement today will focus on movement through the torso. So movement in every direction through the torso. We naturally move a lot with our hands and our legs and all of our extremities, but sometimes, especially if we're spending a lot of time seated, our torso doesn't get all the movement it could. And because our torso is sort of a block shape, it stiffens really easily. So lots of movement through the torso today with a focus on twisting, which is great detoxification, great little massage for your internal organs. So with our twists, we do want to use the breath effectively. We're really going to start to explore our exhales here. Inhaling to fill up, and then exhaling, let go completely. And when you think you are empty of air, pause a moment, and then see if you can exhale any more. Inhale, slow, long breath through the nose. Exhale, slow, long breath out the nose. Pausing at the bottom, just a moment, and then seeing if there's any more space to exhale. Take a couple more rounds of this, slow, long breath in. Slow, long breath out. Pause. And then a little more out. Slow, long breath in. Relaxing, exhale. Pause. If there's space, let go a little more. Keep this going in your own time. And notice with that extra little exhale at the end, the abdominal muscles switch on and the belly button really start to draw in and up toward the backbone to squeeze out any last bits of air. So we're starting to use the muscles in the torso more effectively to breathe. And this focus on the exhale helps calm the mind and body. Bringing us into a deep state of surrender. So we are moving through this practice today not fast or vibrantly or fiery. Instead, we'll be slow and soft with ourselves. After you've completed your next round of exhale, release from that little extra breath at the end and start to bring a more equal inhale and exhale through the nose. Perhaps activating your ujjayi breath. It's a little bit of a colder morning this morning. This can help bring warmth through the entire body. And also helps us remember to breathe. We can listen for it, we can feel it deeply. Let's take one more full breath in here together. And long breath out. If you're ready to, you can blink open the eyes. If you prefer to keep them closed for a little longer, please do so. We're going to draw the hands together at the heart and then interlace the fingers. Turn the palms to face forward and start to press your palms toward the front of the room, lengthening out the arms, separating the shoulder blades, and drawing chin toward chest. As you inhale, keep the arms long, start to press the palms high toward the ceiling. And then exhale, press the palms forward, curl the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, send the palms up toward the ceiling. If you have a little more range, maybe draw biceps back behind the ears slightly, expanding the chest. Exhale, chin to chest, curl the spine, expand the back body. So this can still be done seated in your chair. A couple more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Keep pressing out of the palms. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Then inhale, pressing the palms back up toward the ceiling. As you exhale, a little lean to the left. Press through the palms, so we're not aiming downward toward the mat. We're aiming to the top corner of the room, that place where the wall meets the ceiling, if you are inside. Find stretch and length through the right side body. An inhale brings us up through center. And an exhale takes us to the other side, stretching to the right, lengthening through the left. We'll just do one more both sides. So an inhale brings us up to center. Keep pressing out of the palms. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center, press up through the palms. One more, and then we're done sitting up on our ankles. As you exhale, our very first twist, we're turning toward the right. Keep the palms pressing up. There might not be much movement here at all. That's totally fine. Inhale, come through center. Notice how you feel with the twist. Exhale to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. And exhale to the left. Inhale through center, release the interlace of the fingers. This will feel really nice. Exhale, slowly cycle the hands down toward the mat by your sides. And then we're going to make our way into a tabletop. So if you are up on that chair, coming away from it gently, placing it out to one side, bringing hands and knees onto the mat. And I'm just going to turn sideways, finding our tabletop. So we're mindfully placing the knees underneath hips, wrists underneath shoulders. Spread the fingers out nice and wide and find those gecko hands by gripping down into the fingertips, suctioning the hands downward. Make sure the creases of your wrists are parallel with the short end of your mat. So whatever direction this turns the hands in, this is a really good guide. From here, press down. Inhale, stretch the belly out, tilt the tailbone up, chest and gaze forward. A few rounds of cat-cow. Exhale, draw chin to chest, hollow out the belly. C-shape the spine. We'll probably get a little bit more movement here than we did in a seated position. Inhale, draw the chest through. Exhale, curl the spine. One more round. Inhale. Exhale. And then inhale back to a neutral spine. Imagine you're a snake, and as you exhale, slide yourself out to one side. So draw your left hip and your left shoulder toward each other, looking to the left. So contracting the left side, lengthening the right. Inhale, swing yourself back through center. And let's letting out to the other side. Exhale, contract through the right side, lengthen the left, look toward your right shoulder. Twice more, other side. Inhale, center, moving smoothly like a snake. Exhale, contract the left side. Inhale, center. Exhale, contract the right side. Once more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back to center, and let's find our twist now. So we'll press down through the left hand. The next breath in reaches the right arm up toward the ceiling, as high as you can. It might not be all the way up, but still warming up. And as you exhale, we're going to thread right arm underneath left and reach toward the left side of the room as much as we can. Arm doesn't come down. Twice more. Inhale, unthread, untwist, reach up. Exhale, thread through, as if you're trying to grasp something beyond your hand toward the left. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Let's time carefully, allowing the right shoulder to come down, the right cheek to come down. Hips are still high, so hips are still roughly above knees. We're going to start by pressing left hand down into the mat and drawing the left shoulder back. So focusing here on the twist through the spine. We're aiming to stack left shoulder on top of right. Doesn't need to happen all at once. Doesn't need to happen today. Draw belly button to lower back. And as you exhale, you might be able to find that activity a little more and twist a little deeper. So we might stay here with the hand supporting on the mat and the left shoulder drawing back through the pressure of the hand. Otherwise, we can start to reach the left hand up. We're still drawing that left shoulder back, but this time it's through a reach up toward the ceiling. Maybe finding a little more twist. And then if you feel you have the space today, you can take that left hand around to the top of the right hip or even the inside of the right thigh, wrapping it through, using that half bind to draw the left shoulder back even further. We've got one more full breath in here. And long breath out here. If you have taken that half bind option, release it in, reach high first. Exhale, bring the left hand down to the mat underneath the left shoulder. Spread the fingers, press into the palm. Unthread the right arm, inhale, reach up. And then if there's space to draw that right arm back a little bit, imagine you're trying to take your chest to the ceiling. Let's send it up for 3, 2, 1. Use the exhale, slowly, carefully circle the right hand down underneath the right shoulder. And we'll take that all on the other side. Press into the right palm. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Noticing how your torso is moving here. Exhale, start to thread through. Reach toward the right rather than placing the hand down. Inhale, start to reach up. Exhale, thread it through. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Threading through. Once you've finished that reach, carefully place the left shoulder down. Please excuse the back of my head. The left cheek down. It is the right hand that is pressing down into the mat, and we start to draw that right shoulder back. Focusing on the twist through the spine. Belly button to lower back, and maybe we find a slightly deeper twist. Right hand can stay down, or it starts to reach up. So as we take the right hand up, it's not lazy. This will drop the right shoulder back down, but you're really trying to grab a hold of something on the ceiling. We can stay there or start to find that half bind. So you can see it on this side, left hand either to the hip, pressing against the hip to draw the shoulder back. Or if you've got a little more reach, left hand can come around and bind to the inner thigh. And this gives us a firmer grip to really work that left shoulder back in space. Wherever you are, we have one more deep breath in. And full exhale. If you are in that half bind, start to release. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, slowly, carefully bring the right hand down. Spread the fingers, press down into the mat. Inhale, reach the left arm up, so we're unthreading. Reaching high for the ceiling, and then if there's a little bit more space, reaching back. Imagine you're taking your chest upward toward the ceiling for 3, 2, 1. Slowly, carefully unraveling, bringing the left hand downward toward the mat. Spreading the fingers. Here we are in our tabletop. Then let's tuck the toes. Lift the hips and press up and back, downward facing dog. So hands are shoulder distance apart, feet are hip distance apart. And we don't want the down dog to be too short. It's a stretch class. So the longer the down dog, the stretchier we're going to get here. Press down and forward through the hands. The heels do not need to reach through the floor. Reach to the floor, not through the floor. We're lifting and spreading up through the sit bones and drawing the backs of the thigh bones back in space. So you'll feel that stretch through the hamstrings even if the knees stay a little bent. Now if you're feeling sort of like your hands and your feet are drawing away from each other and this length in the down dog is just getting longer and longer, make sure that you're staying active up through your center by wrapping your armpits in toward each other. This will give the shape some more support and drawing belly button up toward the spine. Head is heavy, neck is long, gazes to knees or even right in toward the belly button. We're going to revisit that breath that we did at the beginning of our practice. So if you do need to come down onto your knees at any point, please do so. Inhale deeply. You might want to watch the belly rise. And then slow, long breath out. A little pause at the bottom. And then see if you can breathe out any more. Twice more. Inhale. Exhale. A little pause. And see if you can breathe out any more. Maybe notice the belly firm as you do this. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Pause. Exhale a little bit more. Okay, releasing the double exhale. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. And then looking forward to your hands, let's start to walk the feet forward, coming up to the top of the mat. We'll keep feet hip distance apart. Feet hip distance apart and parallel. And then we're going to bend the knees as much as we need to. Bring the hands forward slightly so that they're underneath the shoulders. So knees are generously bent. Toes are gripping downward into the mat. So now we've got little gecko toes instead of little gecko hands. Press through the fingertips. Inhale, lift to water half lift. It might not be a very big movement. Feel the spine start to lengthen. If you need to have a little bit more height here, and you've got that chair by you, you can bring your hands up onto a chair or two raised blocks or anything you have that just brings the floor upward. All right? So inhale, lifting to water half lift. Tiny, tiny movement. Exhale, just a little bit of softness. Allow the head to be heavy, neck to be long. Twice more. Inhale to water half lift. Exhale, drawing downward. One more. Deep breath in. Complete breath out. Inhale, coming back toward that half lift. We're going to bring the right hand to center. So if you do have a block, you might want to, again, raise the floor. This time hand toward the center line of the body. So it might come up a little higher, or we can keep fingertips down. Remember, the knees can be bent. Or pressing out of that right hand and starting to lift the left arm up toward the ceiling. We're going to allow the hips to come out of line here in order to bring more of a twist in. So start to bring the left leg towards straight. The right knee might want to bend a little bit more, and then we feel like we're really opening up now. Go chest towards ceiling, inhale. Then as you exhale, slowly cycle the left hand down. As you do, start to bend the left knee out, bringing the hips back toward even. Left fingertips down to the mat or up on whatever you are using to support, and we'll start to switch sides as you inhale. Start to reach the right arm up, allowing the hips to become uneven by drawing the right leg towards straight. Maybe the left knee bends a little bit more. Reach right fingertips up, up, up toward the ceiling, chest up toward the ceiling for 3, 2, 1, and then use the exhale. Nice and slowly circle down as you bring the hips back up to even. Bring the hands back out underneath the shoulders. One more inhale to half lift. Exhale, melt down toward the legs. Keep the knees soft. We're going to roll upward to standing. Inhale, nice and slow. Spine is curled. We're stacking vertebra on vertebra as we lift. Reaching the top, shoulders draw up in toward the ears. And then use the exhale to circle the shoulders back and down. Turn the palms to face forward. Inhale, slowly circle the arms up. And we're going to interlace the fingers at the top. Rotate the palms and press the ceiling away. So ground down through the feet. Press the ceiling up. Get as long through the body as you can. Inhale. And then as you exhale, lean out to the left, lengthen through your right side. Doesn't need to be big. Inhale, come up to center. As you exhale, lean out to the right, lengthen through your left side. Keep grounding through the feet. Inhale, come up to center. Keep pressing toward the ceiling. As you exhale, turn toward the right as much as you can. Keep your hips square to the front of the room. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, turn to the left. Notice if you've got a little bit more twist than you did when we started. Keep the hips as square to the front of the room as possible. Inhale, up to center. And then slowly release the interlace of the fingers. It feels really nice to reach down as you exhale. We're going to reach behind ourselves and interlace the fingers behind the lower back. This is quite tight on the shoulders. Maybe grabbing your strap or your t-shirt, whatever you can use to just create some space between the hands. I'm going to turn around so you can see that grip. If your hands are together, pressing the heels of the hands together, rolling the shoulders back, and plugging the shoulder blades toward each other. All right, inhale, extend across the chest. And then as you exhale, we're drawing hands right, maybe bringing them all the way around toward the right hip, looking over the left shoulder. For 3. 2. 1. Inhale, legs together. Exhale, hands around toward the left hip. Look over the right shoulder. For 3. 2. 1. Gaze back forward. Draw the hands back behind you. Inhale. Next, hands back down, releasing the interlace of the fingers. If you had hands, pop it out to the side. Tadasana. Okay, a nice slow, stretchy flow now. Inhale, we circle the arms up. Maybe the palms press, they don't need to. Exhale, hinge at the hips, bend the knees, soften down. Uttanasana. You might want to work on keeping fingertips down to the mat, otherwise hands to shins, half lift. The movement does not need to be big. Exhale, fold, plant your hands down underneath your shoulders, walk it back, down dog. Let's arrive here with a deep breath in. And a long breath out. Inhale, the right leg is going to lift up toward the ceiling. And then with the exhale, bend the knee and peel open the hip. And we feel a twist through the lower part of the spine by lifting the right hip up, drawing the right shoulder down. Keep that right hand firmly planted. Big breath in here. Then exhale, circle the right knee around and forward toward the nose, and we're going to take a big step with the right foot forward in between the hands. So if you need to take a couple of steps, if you need to help the foot out with the hand by drawing it forward, do so. Again, if you want to raise the floor, come up onto the fingertips or support yourself with some blocks here. If you just have one, you can bring the block underneath the left hand because the right hand is going to come up off the floor. Inhale, and then exhale. You have the option to bring the left knee down, untuck the toes. If you're wanting to work a little stronger through the legs, you might want to stay with that back knee off the mat. Press down through your left hand into the prop or into the mat, and inhale, reach the right arm up toward the ceiling, aiming to stack right shoulder on top of left as you reach. Taking the movement upward rather than sinking downward. Keep the hips as square as possible toward the front of the room by drawing the right hip forward in space as you reach the right arm up. For 3, so option to have that back knee lifted. Make sure that right hip is drawing forward. For 2, press out of the left palm, out of the left shoulder. For 1. All right, if you had the back knee lifted, let's all bring the back knee down now. Untuck the back toes. Squeeze the inner thighs. Look down toward the left hand. Get lighter in your left hand. Get even lighter in your left hand and come up, taking yourself into a twisted low lunge. Reaching your right hand toward the back of the mat. Reaching your left hand toward the front of the mat. Like you're trying to touch walls on either end of your mat. Widening your wingspan for 3. Keep drawing that right hip forward in space for 2. For 1, right hand is going to come down to the lumbar spine. Press into your lower back. Inhale, left arm is going to reach up. If you do experience any lower back pain, staying here, reaching the left fingertips upward, so we keep the length. If you feel you've got a little bit of range, you can paint the ceiling, drawing that left hand back in space just a little. It's a tricky one on the balance for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left hand forward and down. Spread the fingers, press into the palm. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, right hand forward and down to the outside of the right foot. Spread the fingers, press into the palms. Tuck the left toes now, lift the left knee, lift the hips high, and let's all press back, downward facing dog. Wrap the armpits in, draw the gaze toward the knees or the belly button. Take a deep breath in. Let's open the mouth and sigh the breath out. All the way out. 1 more, deep breath in. Open the mouth, sigh it out. All right, inhale, looking toward your left hand. So this one can be quite strong on the arms. If you do need to bring the knees down, please do so. Left hand is going to press down and forward into the mat. We're going to pick the right hand up. So if the knees need to come down, let that happen. We're going to start to thread the right arm through underneath the left, reaching toward the left side of the room as much as you can. You might want to stay here. Otherwise, we're going to take that right hand around to the left leg. You can hold the calf, or if you've got a little bit more space, start to reach down toward the ankle, drawing against your leg to guide your torso into a twist, maybe looking up underneath the left armpit. We're not here for long, for 3, 2, 1, releasing the right hand nice and slow back down toward the mat. Spreading the fingers, pressing into both hands. Inhale, left leg is going to lift. Exhale, bend the knee, peel open the hip. Notice the twist move through the lower part of the spine. Press into the left hand, draw the left shoulder downward to keep it in line with the right. For 3, 2, 1, start to circle that left knee forward toward the nose. Create some space and take a big step with your left foot in between the hands, getting it up there however we can. We can bring height underneath the hands or just lift up onto the fingertips. You can work with the back knee up or the back knee down, the back toes untucked. So squeezing the inner thighs, press down through the right hand into whatever is underneath it. Reach the left arm up toward the ceiling. We're aiming to stack left shoulder on top of right. We want to keep drawing left hip forward in space. Press out of the right hand, press out of the right shoulder as you reach. Gaze is up unless the neck isn't happy with this. So if the neck feels a bit crunchy, you can gaze directly to your left side or you can gaze down to your right hand. Stronger option, back toes tuck, back heel presses back, right hip still presses forward in space. Reaching upward rather than downward. So creating as much space between yourself and the mat as you can. For 3, 2, 1. If you are looking up or to your left side, start to bring your gaze down. If your back knee is lifted, start to bring that back knee down now. Untuck the toes. Squeeze the inner thighs. Get as light as you can onto your right fingertips. And then even lighter, right hand comes away from the mat, and we find our twisted lunge, reaching left hand toward the back of the mat, right hand toward the front of the mat. Shoulders are on top of hips, so one hand is not winning in this reach. We're reaching evenly, drawing the inner thighs toward each other. Hips are as square as possible to the front. For 3, maybe gazes back over the left fingertips. For 2, and 1. Left hand is going to circle around to the lower back. Press your left palm flat onto your lower back, draw it downward, and then start to reach your right arm up toward the ceiling. Again, staying here. We want to find lift and length through this shape, or if there's space, drawing the right arm back slightly. Breathing 3 breaths wherever you are. Notice what happens to your breath when you challenge your balance. See if you can smooth it out. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, circle the right hand forward and down. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left hand forward and down, framing that left foot, tucking the back toes, lifting the back knee, lifting the hips up, step it back, downward facing dog. A deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, breathe out. Once more, inhale. Open the mouth, breathe out, all the way out. And then taking that down dog twist, look toward your hand, find your right hand, spread your fingers, press firmly into the palm. Left arm comes off the mat this side, so remember the knees can be down. Start to reach through toward the right, finding a little bit of twist. And then if there is the space, right hand moves toward, left hand moves toward your right leg. Pull against it to draw the torso through, maybe looking up underneath your right armpit. The further down on the right leg you reach, the deeper the twist for 3, 2, 1. Releasing your left hand and bringing it back down toward the mat. Let's all inhale here together. Exhale, draw the knees forward and down and come into your tabletop. Inhale, stretch the belly out, lift your gaze up toward the ceiling. Exhale, draw chin to chest. Let's untuck the toes. Press into the hands, press into the tops of the feet, find your cat shape. And then come up onto your fingertips, curl your spine a little bit more. Press into the knees and start to roll up, stacking vertebra on vertebra. Coming to a kneeling position. Let's inhale, circle the arms forward and up. Hands to shoulder height. Hands to shoulder distance apart, above your shoulders, not just shoulder height. Drawing the palms inward toward each other, reaching the fingertips a little higher. Noticing if you want to bend through the back and draw lower ribs and hip bones toward each other. Keep the core active, the lower back long. Deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to step the right foot forward and sink back in toward our low lunge. Keep tilting the tailbone down, the hips stay even. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, left hand forward, right hand back. We've been here before. We're going to add on. Inhale. Exhale, circle your left hand down. I'm going to turn around so you can see this. Circle your left hand down toward the outside of the right knee. Your right arm up toward the ceiling. So hook against your right knee. to draw that right arm up a little bit higher. Keep your wings expanded. If you have the space to reach downward with the left fingertips, let's do this. Otherwise, we're going to stay uplifted a little higher, keeping as much space between shoulder to shoulder as we can for 3, 2, 1. Now we've found that space from shoulder to shoulder. Keep it, but bend the elbows and bring the hands together at the heart. So left elbows to the outside of the right knee. We're going to make a fist with the right hand, the top hand, punch the left palm, and then draw that right shoulder back some more. So really deepening the twist out now. Now this might be more than enough. This is where we stay. Or just like when we did that twist down on the mat, where we could keep the right hand down or lift it up, we're going to do that now. So whatever option we're taking, the aim is to draw the right shoulder back in space. We do this by pressing into the fist, or we do this by reaching the right arm up, touching the ceiling, or we do this by circling the right arm around to the top of the left hip. Maybe even in toward the inside of the left thigh, and this is where your strap or a t-shirt might come in handy. We have the option to reach toward a bind here. Now this is quite strong, so please don't feel like you need to take this option, but it's fun to have a play to see where we can move to. Maybe the left hand starts reaching down, finding a strap or finding your fingertips. Always the aim is to draw that right shoulder back. Keep drawing the right hip forward, deepening the twist out for 3, for 2, for 1. If you have that bind with a strap or with your fingers, release it. We start by reaching the arm up if you are binding, and then bring the palms back together. Or let's come out of this twist. Inhale, come up, face forward. We're going to draw the hips back, lengthen that right leg out, press into your right heel, flex your right toes up, hips are even. Inhale, both arms reach up. Exhale, circle the hands forward and down, fingertips to the mat or blocks. You can lift the floor up, hands underneath shoulders. Press down and back through the right heel. Inhale, lengthen the chest forward. And then a little softness on the exhale, stretch out that right hammy. 2 more breaths like this. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to turn back to face the front of my mat so I don't get confused what side I'm doing. Inhale, coming on up. Exhale, start to bend through the right knee. Plant your hands down. Tuck your left toes. Lift your left knee. Lift your hips. We're going to take that right leg out from underneath us, all the way up to the ceiling. Big breath in. Exhale, bend the knee, peel open the hip. Inhale here, twisting through the lower back. And then slow motion, exhale. Start to draw the knee down and forward. And then we're going to cross the leg underneath the body, just like we did with the arm before. So this time, right leg goes as far out to the left as we can. We land on the outside edge of the foot. We're coming down to the mat, don't worry. Outside edge of the foot. Circle your left heel down to the mat now. And start to send the hips down. So, as much as possible, left leg is back behind us. Right leg is out to the left. Release the tuck of the toes on the back foot so the top of the left foot is on the mat. And it's likely we're quite twisted out here. We want to start to work the left hip forward as much as possible so we can face our torso, the upper part of our torso, toward the front of the mat. So this is a big one. If you find yourself facing a little to the side, that's okay, but make sure the intention is drawing the left hip forward. It doesn't need to be completely even. Inhale, lift through the chest. If there's space, exhale, start to lower. You might bring your elbows onto blocks. You might bring your elbows down onto the mat. So legs are going in all different directions. Chest is forward. Back of the neck is long. If you feel you have a lot of space here, I'm going to invite you toward another option. Again, this one is quite strong, so only taking it if it feels right for you. I'm not going to take it today, but you have the option to reach the right arm forward, thread the left arm through, lower down onto left shoulder and left cheek. A little extra twist. And you might want to have an experiment with that. If you are moving, make sure you're moving slowly and carefully. We'll take 3 more breaths here. And if you've threaded that left arm through, start to unthread it. Come back towards your elbows. And then we'll all start to lift up onto our palms. And all we're going to do here is give ourselves a little swivel. Both sit bones are down, legs are out wide. Okay, from here, left hand hooks to the inside of the left leg. Right hand is going to go behind the head. Inhale, open the right elbow up toward the ceiling. Imagine you're trying to draw the chest up toward the ceiling. And then if there's space, exhale, creep your left arm toward your left foot. Doesn't need to get there. Maybe the left elbow lowers and anchors to the inside of the leg. Otherwise, it's the left hand anchoring to the left side of the leg. Feeling that big opening through your right side body, grounding through your right sit bone for 3, 2, 1. And then reaching the right arm up to come out of this, big breath in. As you exhale, bring the right front of you, bend the right knee, bring the right foot to the inside of the left inner thigh. So our legs are basically a 90-degree angle from each other. Right knee to the right, left leg straight, toward the back of your mat, I believe. Right hand is going to come down to the inside of the left thigh. Left hand is going to come to behind the left hip. Inhale. Sorry, right hand to the outside of the left knee. I think I said something entirely different. As you exhale, draw chin to chest. Start to walk the hands away from each other. Draw your head down toward the outside of the left knee, not too far away. So keep it nice and close, and you feel this nice big stretch down the right side of the spine. Chin to chest, let the spine curl. This is one of my faves. If your right hand is near your left foot, you might want to take a hold of it for 3, 2, 1. And start to walk your hands back in toward each other, coming on up. We're going to make our way back into a downward facing dog, facing toward the front of our mat. So I want to turn ourselves around. Hands toward the front of the mat. Left toes tuck. Right leg steps back, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Use the exhale, draw the knees down and forward. Keep the toes tucked. Inhale, stretch the belly out, chest and gaze forward. Untuck the toes, press into the tops of the feet, press into the hands, draw chin to chest, curl the spine. So much so we come up onto our tippy fingers and then all the way up. Inhale, draw shoulders up. Exhale, roll shoulders back and down. Inhale, arms forward and up. Exhale, step your left foot forward. Hips stay even. Tailbone draws down. Lower ribs and hip bones toward each other. Core engaged, lower back is long. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, right hand forward, left hand back. Touch the front of the mat, touch the back of the mat. Big breath in. Expand your wingspan. And then use the exhale. We're circling down to the outside of the left knee now. And we don't need to touch the floor. We want to press against the leg to reach the left arm up and back. If you you have the space to reach downward a little more, cool, go for it. But we're focusing on that wingspan here. For 3, draw the right hip forward, the left hip back. For 2. For 1, keeping the distance from shoulder to shoulder that you have created here. Bend the elbows, bring the palms together toward the heart, and then make a fist with your left hand. Press it into your right palm. Draw that left shoulder back. So you're pressing down onto the outside of the left knee. Make sure that knee isn't creeping in toward your center line. Keep pressing the knee outward, the right elbow downward, the left shoulder back. We can stay. Or you have the option to keep drawing the left shoulder back, reach the left arm up in space. Or you have the option to start to move toward that bind, drawing the left hand around to the right hip. It's an option of having fun, exploring. Maybe the right arm reaches under. Maybe this side feels super accessible. Maybe this side feels super inaccessible. Notice the differences, the little subtleties. Whatever variation you have chosen, the left shoulder is moving back as far as possible in space. For 3. Drawing the inner thighs in toward each other. Right hip forward, left hip back. For 2. For 1, if you've taken the bind or a variation of it, release and start to reach your left hand up. Inhale. Exhale, bring your left hand down, palms together. Squeeze the inner thighs, unravel, inhale, lift up, and then draw the hips back. We're lengthening that left leg out. Press down into the heel, up with the toes, back with the leg. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, bring the hands down underneath the shoulders, just tippy fingers, or the hands can be lifted up onto something. Inhale, draw the chest forward. Exhale, a little bit of softness toward that left leg. 2 more breaths like this. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift and lengthen the torso. Exhale, bend through the left knee, plant the hands down either side of the left foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, lift the hips. Bring the left leg up toward the ceiling. The exhale bends the knee, opens the hip. Inhale, reach that left knee a little bit higher. And then we're going for that twist through, that thread through with the leg. So draw the left knee about halfway forward. And then shoot the left leg through toward the right. Scissoring the legs as much as you can, and then starting to lower the hips downward. Feels a little weird, take your time, be nice and slow with this one. Left leg to the right, untuck the right toes, aim the top of the right foot downward on the mat, and then start to draw the right hip as far forward in space as possible. So it's like we're trying to even the hips up, they don't need to be fully even. Chest forward, inhale. Stay here up on your hands. Maybe the hands are supported by something. If you have the space, exhale, maybe lower downward toward your elbows, or downward further to the twist, the extended twist that adds in the shoulder variation. So left hand forward, right arm threads through, right cheek down onto a mat or a pillow or a block, if you're taking that option. I'm feeling a little tight through the shoulders today, so it doesn't feel accessible to me now. So listen to your body, move in a way that feels right. Let's take 3 more big breaths here. If you have taken the variation with the arm, start to unthread your right arm. Slowly coming back toward your elbows. And then if you are down on your elbows, press into your palms, lift back up. And we're just going to untwist and turn to face sort of around toward the back of the mat. So drawing the right hip back. The legs are out nice and wide. Both sit bones are grounded now. Flex your toes up toward the ceiling. Right hand comes to the inside of the right leg. Left hand comes behind the head. Draw the left elbow upward toward the ceiling. Create as much space as you can from shoulder to shoulder. Inhale. And then as you exhale, creep right hand toward right foot. Maybe the right elbow lowers if there's space. It doesn't need to. Press against your right leg to draw the left elbow upward. For 3, 2, 1. Release the left hand from the head. Inhale, reach up to lift up. And then turn to face toward your right leg. Bend your left knee. Bring the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Left hand comes to the outside of the left knee. Right hand comes to the back of the right hip. Inhale. And then start to walk your tippy fingers away from each other. Draw chin to chest, curl the spine, aiming the head just down to the mat, directly to the outside of the right knee. So not too far away from you. You'll lose the hips on the mat if you reach too far. So nice and close, curl down and in, lengthening through the left side of the spine. I really feel this one down through the left side of my lower back, and I love it. And I know some people feel it up more underneath the shoulder blade. So it really will target where you're tight on your back. A couple more breaths. Let the jaw relax, the back of the neck go long. And then starting to curl back up, walking the hands in toward each other. And rather than turning back around to our downward facing dog, we're going to stay seated. We're going to bring the left knee up and send the left leg long. Sitting up nice and tall. Sit bones are grounded. If the knees need to be bent, please bend them. I'm going to face you. Inhale, shoulders are relaxed down. Exhale, draw right ear to right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, draw left ear to left shoulder. Inhale up to center. Exhale, draw chin to ceiling. It doesn't need to be a big movement. Just releasing through the neck. Inhale, center. Exhale, just chin to chest without curling through the rest of the spine. Inhale, coming up to center. Bring your hands down beside you, lean back into them a little bit. Let's bend the knees, feet to hip distance apart or a little bit wider, and we'll windscreen wiper those knees to finish. Big breath in. Exhale, knees to the left. Look purposefully back over the right shoulder. Inhale, head to center, knees to center. Exhale, knees to the right. Look purposefully back over the left shoulder. And it feels so good. We'll do one more either side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back up to center. Bring weight out of your hands, reach the arms forward, and we lower it down onto our backs with the exhale, nice and slow, vertebra by vertebra, coming on down. We're going straight into our Shavasana. If there are any final movements you feel you want to take, please do so. Otherwise, resting the arms down by the sides of your body, palms center face up, extending the legs long, toes roll out. Back of the head is heavy, eyes are closed. Together, let's take a deep breath in through the nose, fill all the way up. Through the nose, breathe all the way out. And then add a little bit more. Once more, inhale all the way in through the nose. Through the nose, exhale all the way out. Then add a little bit more. Inhale, breathe all the way in through the nose, fill up. This time opening the mouth, a slow, long sigh all the way out with the exhale. The bottom of the breath, closing the mouth down and coming to a soft rhythm of breath for your Shavasana. And allowing all that movement to settle, all that shifting of energy, all that getting unstuck to settle, so that we can absorb the effects of our practice. These moments in stillness just as important as the moments in movement. Perhaps even more so. And even though the breath has become more subtle, you can keep a gentle focus on it. Maintaining a sense of presence so that you can feel deeply the effects of your practice today. And I'm going to leave you here in your Shavasana. Please take your time. Thank you for joining me for practice today. Sending you love and gratitude. Namaste.